Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. This episode 4 is about the Big Ten contract with NBC being lousy for Notre Dame. Every time I think about this, I put out the questions, how can this be good for Notre Dame? I'm not really getting any good answers. I did get an answer from Bob Thompson on Twitter this evening, the former Fox Sports president, and I appreciate his answer. My initial question on Notre Dame's ability to play primetime football games on NBC on Saturday nights, I believe that has been eliminated now, but maybe not so. I asked the question previously in episode number 2, at the end of episode number 2, saying the Big Ten contract with Commissioner Kevin Warren, when he negotiated with potential media companies, media partners, he said that each slot would have to be exclusive to the Big Ten, exclusive windows. So that Fox Sports game on Big Noon, that's going to be a Big Ten team playing at a Big Ten stadium. Also with CBS at 3:30 Eastern, and also at NBC on primetime on Saturday nights, the triple header. All those slots are owned from 2023, probably on to about 2030. Those are exclusive Big Ten windows. So that means that Notre Dame is not going to have any Saturday night primetime games distributed by their media broadcast partner, NBC. Well, Bob Thompson answered me back on Twitter and basically alluded to the fact that maybe we're going to learn when the Big Ten contract details come out, that basically we're going to learn that maybe there are some carve-outs. In other words, maybe NBC will play a Big Ten game on Thursday night, for example, and that Saturday night slot will stay open for a Notre Dame home game if they remain independent in football, of course. And there may be other examples of that where an NBC primetime game gets moved to possibly a Thanksgiving evening. And so therefore, Notre Dame can slide in on a Saturday primetime game on NBC. So maybe there is the ability for Notre Dame to play Saturday night distributed by NBC. However, I just don't understand how the totality of the Big Ten contract with NBC helps Notre Dame. We heard that Notre Dame was okay with NBC's attempt to get shoulder programming to help bolster Notre Dame's ratings, to help bolster them on the Saturday. The standalone game for Notre Dame playing like at 2:30 Eastern time on a Saturday kind of gets lost at times with ESPN, ABC's big game, Big Noon on Fox. And going forward, it's not going to get any easier for Notre Dame when you got the ESPN's Tier 1 game for SEC playing at 3:30 Eastern time. The second tier game for Big Ten playing on CBS on 3:30 Eastern time. Notre Dame, shoulder programming, I mean, most of the time, the way I see this contract lining up for the Big Ten, most of the time during the Notre Dame game on NBC at 1:30 or 2:30 Eastern time, they're going to be the one that's promoting the Big Ten game. Later on, that's the triple header on NBC. The Big Ten isn't really going to be promoting Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to be promoting the Big Ten. Notre Dame has to see that, right? Let me circle back. The Big Ten contract has it to where they have the Big Noon game, 3:30 game on CBS, primetime on NBC. So most of Notre Dame's home football games, definitely in 2023, 2024, are going to be played at the afternoon slot. And the Big Ten game is going to be played in the evening. I mean, and before that NBC, before Notre Dame kicks off at 2:30 Eastern time on NBC, Big Ten's going to be having a big noon game, promoting the second game that's going to be on CBS, most likely. The NBC game that's when Notre Dame is playing at 2:30 Eastern time, they're going to be promoting the Big Ten game at night on NBC. To show the programming, the advantage goes to the Big Ten. Notre Dame is truly playing second banana to the Big Ten in NBC, and that's going to go on until probably 2030. Now, as Bob Thompson said, we don't know the full details of the Big Ten contract. Maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe we just don't have all the details. Can't wait to see the details, because as it shows right now, this Big Ten deal with NBC, it's lousy for Notre Dame. It's lousy. I mean, unless Notre Dame finds a different media partner, there's something off here. So we're going to continue with this story. I hope we get these details of the new Big Ten media contract soon. We're going to keep digging. Until next time, here at Peek Around the Corner, please, y'all take care of each other. Thanks.